Danny Segura for MMA Junkie. I'm here with Shahzaib Rind, who just unified the Karate Combat Lightweight title this past weekend at Karate Combat 52. Shahzaib, first of all, how are you, man? How are you feeling after the fight? Went the full distance? How's the health? You look good, but you feel good?
Yes, I'm feeling amazing. This is the best experience and best feeling I have ever had. Feel good, so good, and finally, it was my dream to become a world champion. I made it true.
Yeah, and congrats on that. And I was at the event. I was covering Karate Combat 52. We don't at MMA Junkie. Obviously, our main focus is MMA, but sometimes we do a little bit of boxing, bare knuckle boxing, and sometimes a little bit of karate, especially when there's these crossover names like Roelis de Spain, who fought below on the card. And I gotta say, it's like a pretty cool sport. It's pretty interesting, high paced, high action. Um, and something that I picked up, I saw so many like Pakistan flags all over, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen those before all that often in like MMA events and such. So I wanted to ask you, are you the first world champion for Pakistan? Is that the case? Because like I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know too many fighters that have come out of Pakistan.
Yes, I'm the first Pakistani world champion, and I made history. I become two-time world champion, and you saw the flags all over in the arena because I'm representing my country. There are a lot of fighters; they just fight for themselves, but I'm here for my country. I'm here to represent my country, and I'm here to show the world, the Pakistani people and the fighters from Pakistan. We are not less than anyone. We can do anything because Pakistan is like in sports. We are not so much developed. We don't have a lot of athletes, and we don't have a lot of big names. So it was my dream too when I came to America. It was my first dream to become a Pakistani world champion and represent my country all over the world and show the world like we have talent. We have a lot of talent. We can do anything wherever. Like it's like a big message for everyone, and especially for the youngsters when they think like because. Pakistan is like some people say like Pakistan is not a very developed country, but yes, it is true. But we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent. We have a lot of heart. So that's why you saw a lot of Pakistani people. They were so emotionally connected with me. Because I'm their fighter and they love me, and they all the time wherever I go, if I fight in Singapore, if I fight in any corner of the world, they will be here and they will support me always.
Yeah. That's awesome, man, and congrats on sort of making history and representing a country that's been, I guess, underrepresented in combat sports. And I'm gonna lift the curtain here a little bit in MMA Junkie. Our audience is mainly like American and a lot of European, right? But something that happens that's interesting sometimes when a fighter from Asia or the Middle East comes to the UFC, and it's not like a big country, you would think like, oh, maybe like the views, the draw won't be as big, but because there isn't that much representation, sometimes some of these interviews with like lesser known fighters do like crazy numbers. So I got to ask you, I've seen your following. You have a pretty strong following. How's it like the reception in Pakistan, sort of the fan base, the following that you've received over your career, and especially now after winning a world title?
Yeah, when I came to Karate Combat, in Karate Combat, it was my first fight. I fought in Karate Combat, and that I had no idea I'm gonna blow up when I fought. And then I went back to the locker room. I see a lot of like notifications popping up. My Instagram blow up, and everyone was like messaging me, President of Pakistan, Prime Minister of Pakistan, Chief Army Staff. Everyone is like telling me, congratulating me, tweeting for me, and it was a big thing. Like it was just like a dream. Everyone was calling me. I just blow up. When I went back to Pakistan after my world title, when I won the world title, I went back to Pakistan. I had no idea. Like when I went to the airport, I saw like thousands of people were waiting for me on the airport, and it was like early in the morning. So all the chief minister, like head of the state was there, and a lot of people like. All the politicians were there, and they were like the roads were blocked for me. Everyone was waiting because I was about to cross the road, so there was security. The city was totally blocked, and it was like such an amazing experience. I never had experience like this, and everyone was coming to take selfies with me, and they were so happy. It was like just it was the, like big thing for them, like, and it's for me like too, like we won the world title. It is the biggest thing as one can ever imagine. So it was such an amazing experience, and then this thing gives me more motivation to become the greatest of all time. And it is just the beginning, we have long way to go.
That's awesome, man. That's pretty crazy that like the president's hitting you up and all that. So I guess now that with a world title, what are you expecting when you go back? Because by the way, for those that don't know, you're still in Miami. You can see the palm trees in the back. Um, what are you expecting when you get back?
I'm expecting like more than this time. I'm like on trending in Facebook, X, and Instagram. Everywhere it's trending. Everyone is sharing my posts, and everyone is so happy. Everyone is like sending big prayer messages to me, and my Instagram is like full of like it's full of notifications and everything. And I'm calling it like I having a lot of calls from around the world, like from Amsterdam, from Canada, from UK, from Dubai, from European countries. Everyone is like trying to like, tell me, come please visit us, have a meet and greet with us. So it's awesome, man. It's awesome. It's just the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome to hear, man. And I gotta ask you, we see a lot of MMA fighters cross over to karate combat, and you do train at Goat Shed, which is primarily an MMA gym. For those that don't know, like Jillian Robertson fights out of there, Aileen Perez, and a few other notables that are currently in the UFC. Have you ever thought about crossing over to the UFC world because or MMA world? Because obviously, like in karate combat, like there's a lot of views, but like MMA is still sort of like the bigger sport, right? So, any interest in doing that and trying your hand there?
Yeah, I have a great idea about MMA. I would love to fight in MMA because I want to, conquer all the sports in the world. I want to show the world, like, what my skills are, and I can do anything. In karate combat, my background was Sanda. I came to karate combat. I conquer the league, and I'm the world champion of karate combat, and I'm the best representation of karate combat. So I want to fight in MMA, but in Karate Combat Pit. It's gonna be something new in Karate Combat Pit. You see, the Karate Combat Pit is different. If you fight there with the former UFC World Champion or whoever is the best in MMA, I can fight them in the Karate Combat Pit, and it's gonna be amazing. Karate Combat in Karate Combat Pit MMA, it's gonna be nasty because we don't have anywhere to run. It's paid, and then you can do like a lot of stuff. It's gonna be such an amazing thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. Have you thought of any names that are currently in karate combat that make sense for you? Obviously, they've been really good at getting some of the free agents as well and bringing them over. Is there any names out there that have interest to you, or some names that you would like to fight eventually at some point?
Yeah, I want to fight the one of the best fighters in the world. Like one of the greatest fighters. I want to put a great show to the world. Show them like the good fight. So I want to fight some of top MMA guys, world champions in MMA, and I want to show them like what my MMA skills are. So
Yeah,
I'm ready for any sports, anytime, anywhere.
yeah.
Just you know the location. Where is location? Come to Karate Combat Pit, and we're gonna see who's the best.
Nice. And karate combat, I mean, karate's been around forever, right? But like the karate combat and the promotion and sort of the way this sport is right now, it's fairly new, right? Very much, I think I can compare it to like bare knuckle boxing, which has been around forever, but like this new sort of edition of it is fairly new. This new formation of it. What do you expect for it in the future? Because so far those events have done numbers and have done well. How much do you expect this thing to grow? Like what are you seeing here?
I think the Karate Combat is the best place, and it's elite striking. In Karate Combat, it's like complete striking. You can't run away from each other. You can't grapple somebody. It's like pure striking. You don't like on the ground. You can finish your opponents on the ground and pound. And on the pit wall, it's the most dangerous thing. When somebody is on the pit wall, you can elbow him. 12 to 6 degree elbows are allowed, and knees are allowed when somebody's back is on the pit, and you can knee them, you can punch them, you can do a lot of stuff, and it's most dangerous sports I think in the world, and it's like elite striking and very entertaining there because you can't stop for a second there. You just have to strike, non-stop, and try to smash your opponent. So this is the best thing in karate combat. But other sports, you see sometimes, in kickboxing, there is only striking, and when they clinch, they stop. Same like in Muay Thai, they don't have wrestling. But in Karate Combat, we have wrestling, we have ground and pound, like which is the best thing. Somebody's on the ground, you can just finish him, with the ground and pound.
Yeah, for sure, man. And lastly, I want to follow up on one of the things that you said like a couple questions ago. MMA in the pit, has that? How far are the discussions there? I don't know how much you can say, but um, are we going to see in 2025 mixed martial arts like by the rules in the pit? Because we've seen it obviously in the cage, we see it over in Asia and Japan in the ring, but we've never seen it in the pit. I mean, well, maybe IFL did it like years ago, but I guess in modern times, is that a thing? Is that something you guys are working on?
It's just popped out in my mind because
Okay.
it's the best thing to do it in the pit because
Yeah,
pit is something very different. If you
it
do
is. Yeah.
MMA in pit, it's gonna be amazing. Like you have MMA doing in the pit, so I think this is the best idea. We should do it, and then I will ask the Karate Combat to do it. And I'm ready for anyone. Just bring me the one of the top guys in the world. I don't want to fight anyone like with no name. I want to fight one of the best fighters, in the world champions. So we will see who's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be very interesting. I'd love to see MMA in the pit to see what it looks like. And one more question. I lied. What was it like fighting in front of Poatan? Because he's a very intimidating figure. Obviously, a super decorated striker, two-time Glory Kickboxing champion, two-time UFC champion. What was it like fighting in front of him? Because he was there, and not only that, but I don't know if you picked it up. He was also narrating part of the commentary booth for your fight.
It's like always for me it doesn't matter whoever. It's good, like big names are there, they watch your fights and they become impressed by you. But for me it's like most important, like my people, they were there, like they came all the way from everywhere around the world, from like Houston, from everywhere of the world, like every corner of the America or Dubai, people came. So it was big thing for me, like a lot of it was a lot of pressure too. And then I'm fighting in front of legends, so it was the best experience, and I had to it gave me more motivation to show my skills even better, like show everything, do whatever I can to prove myself.
Yeah, of course. Awesome, man. Well, congrats on the victory. Congrats on winning the belt. Best of luck on your trip back to Pakistan and enjoying the celebrity status over there. And looking forward to your next title fight, man. I really enjoyed this one this past weekend at Karate Combat 52.
Thank you so much, brother, for having me.